Hey, hey, graceful Grace Nation. How are you guys doing? I am welcoming you back to Relationship Coaching Live, where love meets laughter and real talk rules the mic, honey. I'm your host, Grace Fraga. I'm a relationship coach and comedian, and I'm also your sassy guide through the wild ride of love and life. Today's episode is for anyone who's ever felt like their relationship is more chaos than connection. You know what I mean? Like when communication breaks down, emotions run real high, and you're wondering, why did I even swipe right on this person? But don't worry, we're diving into relationship chaos, how to thrive when things get tough, with tips, truth bombs, fan stories, scientific backup, always practical tools, and just enough sass to keep it spicy. So let's go. All right. So this is what I called segment number one, and it is what is relationship chaos. And by the way, welcome to those that are on YouTube. I see there's one on YouTube and all the other platforms. I see Facebook is not going. I don't know why. Yeah. I'm telling you, this Facebook is a mess. Don't ask me. Facebook is just a disaster. Um, I lost my account, by the way. I know I'm burdening you with my problems, but I lost an account for some BS copyright issues, which I never even post anything that's not mine. So be careful with Facebook because they will take your account for no apparent reason. Hi, Jesse. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's talk about relationship chaos. This is going to be fun, right? We are familiar with that. I know, Jesse, you are, and I am familiar with relationship chaos. All right. So, what is exactly relationship chaos? It's that messy emotional storm when things stop flowing and start blowing up, like arguments, right? Silence. Ooh, that's a tough one. Drama. Oh, the drama, confusion, unmet expectations, and sometimes, even betrayal, honey. That's a tough one. I don't do betrayal very well. I don't take it very well. I take it personal, which I shouldn't, but I really do. Here's the tea, you guys. Okay. So chaos doesn't always mean your relationship is doomed. Sometimes it's just growing pains. Two people evolving, triggering each other's wounds, and learning to dance through the discomfort. Now, we all have those relationships, right? And some relationships are for a season, not to worry. Some relationships are just for us to learn something on this planet and to evolve and to realize, they're like a mirror to our shadow and to our light also. So I was actually watching La La Land yesterday again for the second time. I love that movie. And it reminded me of one of my relationships where we both had dreams, and then we just fell, the relationship fell apart. We stayed friends, and then he got married, and before he got married, the woman who was with him was like, you need to cut all ties with her. They didn't even want me as a friend, right? So I never met her. I have nothing to say about her. But I think they demonized me, and that was the only way that he could get away from the soul tie that we had. When you're soulmates, and I was wondering, when I was watching the movie, like, why he was my soulmate, one of my soulmates, because I believe we have a lot. And it's not just romantic. Soulmates can be a parent, it can be a brother, a sister, a cousin, a friend. So I was like, you know, why did we break up? Why didn't it work out? And, if allegedly we sign contracts, soul contracts before we come to this planet, let's assume that's real. I think our soul contract expired in 2017. And it was hard to let go. For me, it was really hard because I'm a very loyal person. And so for him, he wanted to be with someone else, which is fine. I had no issues with that at all. But that person was insecure or just didn't want me around, and that's fine. I understand. But the way he did it was terrible, and I was so hurt. And and now it's what, 8 years later, I was watching La La Land, which, by the way, I watched it with him the last time I saw him before he turned on me, because he truly turned on me. It was a betrayal. And I watched it again, and in full circle, I understood that soulmate was just for a season, and we grew together, we evolved, but we evolved at different times, I think, and one had to catch up with the other, and I'm not going to say who, but one had to catch up with the other, and they just didn't want to do that. They didn't want to face their shadow and work on their hurts, and worked a little bit like, okay, it's me, right? I worked on my hurts and my shadow deeply. And when one works on their shadow and the other one doesn't, then that's going to be a problem. But is that meant to be chaotic? Not really. You can have a peaceful breakup and be like, hey, our soul contract is over. Let's do this in a nice, friendly way. And so, yes. And you know what? Chaos doesn't always mean your relationship is doomed. Sometimes it's just the growing pains, right? The two people evolving. And like I was saying, we triggered each other's wounds, and we learn to dance in the discomfort. Sometimes we just, one of us or the two of them, leave the dance floor because it's too much at that time, right? I always say a little chaos is like salsa, spicy and exciting, but too much, you burn the whole darn taco. Okay, so be careful. A little spice, good. Don't overdo it. Then you're gonna get heartburn. Not cute. So I have a fan story, because I always have fan stories, scientific backups when there is one, and practical tips. So let's go to the fan story. Some of the names are changed, by the way. This one has been changed. So one listener, Bella from Austin, shared how she and her partner would go days without speaking after a fight. But once they started scheduling safe space Sundays to talk things out calmly, the chaos started to settle. Yes, I think that communication is number one, right? When you're in any type of relationship, communication is crucial. And sometimes, you ask the other person, like, what made me feel more comfortable is this, and the other person tells you that too. And sometimes some people are not willing to compromise, and some people are. So every relationship is different, and the outcomes, there's a million outcomes out in the quantum field, billions of outcomes, right? And we do choose our reality. We're getting into spirituality here in the quantum field, into quantum science, quantum physics. So there's a million possibilities out there. So which one do you want to jump into? Which one do you want to manifest? And sometimes you want to manifest one and the other person wants to manifest another. And that's okay. That's when the soul contract is over. It's done. So moving on, right? I love that I watched La La Land last night, and it just gave me all this insight about my own relationships, because to know myself is to know humanity, right? When you know yourself, you can connect with other people, because we all go through very similar things. That's why we relate to movies like La La Land. I was like, oh my God, this is like parallel lives between me and I can't remember the name of the male character, but it was I was crying. I'm a crybaby, and but I cry like by myself. I don't cry out loud in front of people. I try not to. Let's put it that way. So okay, you guys, practical tip. Create a weekly ritual, like a relationship reset night. No phones, no distractions, just deep listening, sharing appreciations, and planning the week ahead as a team. So we learned from Bella, right? Cheers, by the way. I'm drinking my coffee with a straw. You know why I drink it with a straw? Then I don't stain my teeth. So that's a practical tip. And always use glass straws, because they don't have plastics. They don't leak plastics. Anyway, sidebar. And by the way, we have mugs. Let me show you. I have mugs on my shop, the State of Grace shop. Positive affirmations, dream big, and create your own story. That's what we were talking about. And shine your light. Let your light shine. There you go. So these two apply actually to what we're talking about, right? You let your line shine, and if the other person doesn't want, it's too much light, then they're going to be like, either put sunglasses and deal with it, or they're going to be like, I can't see anything. Bye. So anyway, I'm very metaphorical today. I don't know why I am like that. Anyway, let's move on, my loves, to segment número dos. Okay. So segment number 2 is the root of the chaos. And by the way, drop your comments. Just let me know about your experiences. Let me know if you agree or disagree with something, if you had a different experience or similar experience. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, like, comment, and share. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the root of the chaos. All right. All right. Let's get real. Okay. So chaos just doesn't pop out of nowhere. It does have roots, as can be unhealed trauma, poor communication, unrealistic expectations, fear of abandonment, and control issues. Okay, let's start with unhealed trauma. All right, cheers, by the way. Coffee, delicious. It's on my Amazon store. It's amazon.com/shop/the state of Grace Fraga, and it is the most pure coffee and healthy coffee you can have. It's from Costa Rica, no pesticides, and low acid. Cheers. Delicious, by the way. So good. Okay. So unhealed trauma. All right. We all have that. I am a victim of narcissistic abuse growing up. And, a lot of things that my partners would do would trigger that. As I healed, when I started dating and lived with, was engaged to somebody who was a narcissistic abuser, that's when I had to face my own shadow, because I had been avoiding it and I had been in denial. And I really didn't know, was ignorant about what had happened to me. I know it wasn't right. And I know it didn't make me feel loved. But actually, the most narcissistic, abusive person I ever dated is the one that put a mirror to my face and was like, you have some unhealed trauma. So again, everybody is in our lives for us to learn something from it, even if it seems like the chaos and the meanness, even the evil sometimes is unbearable. You can use it to heal yourself or to understand why it triggers you a certain way. Cheers again. Love this coffee, you guys. Okay. Poor communication. Well, again, communication is key in any relationship, because if you keep something inside, then how is the other person going to know what bothers you or what makes you feel a certain way? Always start with things, I feel that, okay? Or I feel like when you do this, it makes me feel this way. Without being accusatory, that's a good communication. Now, if you're accusatory and you mess up, just back down and be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be accusatory, blah, 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 right? Thank you for joining on X and YouTube. Thank you, guys. I see you. And Twitch, I see you, my loves. Thank you for being there. Okay, so another thing that's the root of chaos, could be the root of chaos, is unrealistic expectations. Oh, boy. Let me sip some coffee before I talk about that one, because, boy, I'm the queen of unrealistic expectations. Okay, so for those of us who are romantic and like want everything to be beautiful and perfect, unrealistic, right? I mean, you can have that, but there's going to be a little chaos here and there, right? So have realistic expectations. Know that this is a human relationship with two humans who have egos, who have unhealed trauma, who have triggers. And so just don't idolize someone, put it on a pedestal and be like, oh, they're perfect and this and that. And that usually happens in the beginning of a relationship, because all the right hormones are like just flowing and you're like, oh my God, they're so amazing. I still do that. And then I'm like, okay, Grace, just chill out. And these are just people. They're not gods. They're not, you're not supposed to idolize them. And because when we idolize somebody, this just came to me. What happens is we put ourselves down, right? But we got to keep ourselves up, because we have to love ourselves before anything. before we can love anybody else. So when you put somebody on a pedestal, you love them more than you love yourself, which no bueno. Let me take a sip. Hmm. Okay, so these are heavy, heavy things that we're talking about. All right. Another thing that could be the root of the chaos in a relationship is the fear of abandonment. Have you guys ever, let me know if you ever experienced any of these in the comments. I love to hear from you. Okay. So, fear of abandonment. Wow. That one is very common. We all have that. And I don't know why we're afraid to be abandoned. Um, that is a tough one. I think that it is also related to unrealistic expectations where we, again, people might abandon us not because of us but because of themselves. And so if we have also another thing, remember we create our own reality, again, quantum physics, right? So if we have that fear of abandonment, guess what, you're attracting that because you're going into that field, that vibrational field. And yes, everything vibrates in this quantum field that we live in, this 3D cube. Everything has a vibrational frequency. Okay. So when you are in a vibrational frequency of fear, then you attract that, and that's, you're going to make that happen. So instead of having the fear of abandonment, maybe have the understanding that a relationship is not perfect and it can go anywhere anyway, and it changes all the time and it grows or it gets stuck, or one person grows more than the other, or one person is doing their shadow work, what they call shadow work, which is basically healing. So one person is doing their healing, the other one is not willing to do it because they're afraid or whatever. So things are going to happen. This, nothing in this world is forever, which is good. This is coming from a cancer survivor. I am glad that was not forever. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Sorry, I'm drinking my coffee. I did not have time. I had a busy morning, but I need my coffee, you guys. Do you guys need coffee? Let me know in the comments. Do you need coffee or tea or anything? This is decaf, by the way. I can't, after chemo, my nerves got a little bit messed up in the sense that they're very, very sensitive. So whenever I have like real coffee, I have a panic attack. I'm not kidding you. That's how sensitive my nerves have become. But I have become more calm, which is kind of like a weird paradox. My nerves are a little bit more sensitive, but I am calmer. I don't know. That one I don't have an answer for. I might next time. All right. What's another root of chaos in a relationship? Oh boy, control issues. Control issues. Before we get into that, let me see what the comment here. Jesse says, always need coffee and tea. Amen to that. There's a time for coffee, there's a time for tea. I have green tea every morning. By the way, you guys, green tea is so healthy. You should definitely drink tea. It is wonderful. Green tea specifically. Let me put the address of my store. I buy a fantastic green tea with the full well, they're kind of like dried leaves, but they're full. Okay. So let me see. I think this is let me double check. Okay. I'm going to scroll it. You can get the tea. Oh, no. Well, I'm going to put it up. You can get the tea there. Let me put it as a ticker so you have it there. And you can buy the tea with the leaves, the green tea, which is fantastic. It's organic, and the coffee that's organic, no pesticides, nothing. It's fabulous. You can take tea baths too. Absolutely, because the skin absorbs everything, right? And you can take, like, if you take chamomile tea bath, I'm sure you have to be careful because you really fall asleep on the chamomile. By the way, for those who can't sleep, it's the best thing. Don't take pills uh, unless it doesn't work for you. But if the chamomile tea works for you, oh my God, you guys, please do it. It is the best thing you can do. So let me see and make sure that I have the right address for, I think the state of grace fraga. I don't think it's just the state of grace because some of them I have the state of grace. Yeah, the state of grace fraga. So I have the right address. Woohoo! Yay! Okay. Let's see. So we were talking about control issues. Let's go back. I needed a little break before we continued to talk. We need to talk about stuff that we do, like real life, like tea and coffee, right? Mm-mm. This is so good. It's getting cold, guys, so I need to drink it. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so let me actually put this banner and here. There you go. Okay, control issues. Oh, boy. Okay, so like for example, let's say you have fear of abandonment, you have fear of betrayal, you feel like you don't want to let life flow because when you did, life betrayed you in your reality. I personally, I don't feel it betrayed me. I feel like life is trying to teach me something, the universe or whatever, or God, whoever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. So I think that when we have control issues, which I used to have control issues because I'm as a victim of nice narcissistic abuse, you want to control your environment. You want to observe, like, are they going to beat me up? Are they going to, abuse me? What the heck? So anyway, this is like coffee time with Grace. This is not relationship coaching live anymore. I think we crossed over to coffee with Grace. Okay. So yeah, so just let life flow. And my advice would be let life flow. My mom used to say that all the time. Graciela, you can't control everything. Let life flow. Yeah, okay. I hear you now, mama. So let life flow and know that everything happens for a reason. And I know, like even cancer, I went through cancer. It happened for a reason. It opened my eyes. I kind of needed something to open my eyes. They say this is a spiritual thing that we, again, not only sign the soul contracts when we come here, but we choose what happens to us. And it's so weird. Like, why did I choose, cancer? Well, I guess breast cancer. I sacrificed my boob to the gods for spiritual knowledge. That's how I see it. That's my humorous side. But anyway, so control, honey, we can only control certain things. Other things we cannot control. So we have to let it go. Okay. So awareness of all these issues, and let's go over them. The root of chaos can be unhealed trauma, poor communication, unrealistic expectations, fear of abandonment, and control issues. So awareness of any of these or any others is step number one. When you know your triggers, you stop turning your relationship into a war zone. Yes, this is my tip. This is Grace tips, practical tips. If your partner shuts down during a fight, it's not always personal. Sometimes it's survival mode. Learn to decode behaviors instead of assuming the worst. And if you're a dramatic person like I am dramatic, believe it or not. Like inside, I'm dramatic. If you watch my series, The Diaz, you will see Consuelo is my inner dramatic diva. She's very dramatic. So, instead of being on that ego mode and like, oh my God, they hurt me, they don't like me. It's like, well, maybe they're going through something, maybe it's their trigger. They're trying to survive me, by me confronting them or something on something. So just always be aware that it's not all about you in that sense. Okay. It's about, because we are all mirrors of each other, because we are one consciousness. Technically, we are one consciousness expressing itself in different ways. That's why we're different, but the difference, is really kind of not real, because we're all one. And so we're mirrors to each other, right? So a lot of times when somebody does something, it can trigger somebody, like when people, the trolls that comment, not the bots, but like real trolls, real life trolls, they comment something negative because maybe your light might trigger them. I don't know. You're maybe you say something that triggers them, reminds me of their parents, or their parents did this, or this person did that. So I'm going to back all this up with science. Okay. So studies in the Journal of Marriage and Family Therapy show that unresolved childhood trauma can resurface in adult relationships, especially under stress, increasing the likelihood of conflict. Awareness and trauma-informed therapy can make a huge difference. Yes. So, speaking of trauma-informed therapy, this weekend, I will have a relationship coaching live streamathon with the best of relationship coaching live. We're going to have healing, we're going to have success and healing trauma, healing with laughter, success. And what's the other thing? I have to look at let me see. Oh my God. I do so much, you guys. I don't know about you, but I do so much that I forget what I do. I'm like, that's good. Okay, I'll put it there. And then I forget. But anyway, and laughter, healing. Okay, something else. Just look it up. It's actually, if you go to my YouTube, it's under like the lives that are coming up. Okay. It's going to be amazing. It's a 6-hour, I already made the video, a 6-hour streamathon with the best, with Dr. Brian King, who is wrote the the laughter cure, excuse me. Andy Roach, who is a trauma therapist. And then we have Elizabeth Hamilton Guarino, who's going to talk about success. Oh, that's it. Success, laughter, and healing. That's it. Success, laughter, and healing. Okay. Good job, Grace. So anyway, I highly recommend you to join it. It's going to start at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be amazing. The best of relationship coaching live. And then also I will talk about healing from narcissistic abuse. There's a few videos about that. So definitely highly recommend. Anyway, going back. Whoop. Okay. So practical tip. Okay. For the root of chaos. And what triggers you? Journal your top 3 triggers. Then ask your partner to share theirs. When you understand each other's sensitivities, you reduce emotional landmines. Yes, you do. By the way, I am going to produce a free guide of all this that we talked about. It's going to be available on the State of Grace shop. It's going to be on the comments, in the pinned comments on YouTube. Give me about a half hour after this live and I'll have it ready for you. Okay. Okay. Segment number 3, you guys. Okay. Let's go with segment number 3. And it is how to communicate in the middle of the storm. You're both in chaos, right? Okay. Do you guys yell, cry? Do you ghost them or text your therapist? Nah. Here's how to thrive, okay? I mean, you can do all of those, but I highly recommend these things, okay? There's 4 things that I would love for you to do. And again, the free guide is going to be in the pinned comments in about a half hour after the live, and you can download it for free at the stateofgraceshop.com. Let me see if I have that banner. Yes, I do. There it is, the stateofgraceshop.com. Make sure you download it. I always have guides. There's so many free guides there. By the way, you guys, you can just download narcissistic abuse, parenting, solo parenting, trauma. There's so much free stuff there. And there's also books that are only $5.99 and they're available on PDF. And you can download them and read them on your phone or your computer. And they're a fast read and they're packed with knowledge and good advice. And good experiences, because I come always from a place of experience rather than, this is, like, I'm not a therapist, I'm a relationship coach. So my style is coming from my own experiences so I can help you, even if I haven't experienced that or I've seen somebody else experience that, then I take from my reality and process the information and also study, because I had to get, a certification as a relationship coach. So anyway, moving on. So here's how to thrive. Put your queen crown or your king crown right now. Okay. So use I statements instead of blaming. Like, I feel hurt when you don't text back instead of, you always ignore me or what. That's my whiny, annoying voice. All right, number two, take a pause. Silence can be sacred, you guys. Sometimes when I don't know what to say and I have like anger or like a feeling that's going to create conflict, I just take a pause. I've even said to a friend one time, I have to go to another room because right now I'm really mad at you. He was really being mean, really mad at you. I'm going to go to my room, lock my door. And when I have more clarity in my mind of what's happening right now, I will come out and we'll talk. Right now, if I talk, we're going to probably not be friends anymore. So I highly recommend take a pause. Okay. So also set emotional boundaries, you guys. Not everything is yours to fix. It's not your problem if somebody's got an emotional trigger, just set emotional boundaries also. Like if somebody is triggering you or is crossing the line, being like too much or too invasive, set the emotional boundaries. Like, hey, I love you. And I would like for you to not text me every 2 hours. I had people that did that, guys that did that. I can't handle that. Okay. Number four, ask questions like, what are you feeling right now? Instead of what the hell is wrong with you? I used to say that a lot. But I learned because age, i.e. time, teaches you a lot. Some people don't learn, but I try to learn as much as I can. Okay. That's my jam. So by the way, comment if something resonates with you, and remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment on my YouTube. We want this community in YouTube to grow because literally this is a channel, a YouTube channel where we channel joy, love, peace, compassion, enlightenment, all the high vibrational stuff. And we also talk about our low vibrational stuff, which might come out sometimes, or we just like look at it like, oh, okay, I see you. Yeah. But this is a channel called The State of Grace, which is your ideal state of being. And my banner is Your Journey to Joyful Living, which, by the way, is the title of the streamathon that's going to be on April 5th. It's going to be live with new guests or guests that have been on Relationship Coaching Live. But oh my God, it's going to be a marathon of amazeballs. Like, oh my God, you have no idea. It's a stellar lineup. So definitely tune into that. And it's going to replay. It's going to be available on YouTube. It's going to be epic. Anyway, all right. So let's keep going. So what I say is don't fight to win. Fight to understand. This is not Mortal Kombat. It's intimacy. Okay. Totally different vibe. All right. Let's go to a fan story. So again, the names are changed. Disclaimer. Marcus from Brooklyn said that when he and his boyfriend started using a code word to pause arguments, it gave them space to breathe and re-engage later with clarity. The word pineapple. That would make me hungry if I had that word. Pineapple. I like pineapple. All right. So science backup. According to research in psychological science, taking short breaks during arguments reduces cortisol level, which is the stress hormone, and allows for more productive conversations. Regulating your nervous system helps both people feel safer. Absolutely. A lot of the mental illnesses are about not being able to regulate your emotions. I saw that with my mom who was BPD. She could not regulate it. Thank you, Jesse. Yes, all of it resonates, all of it. I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that it does. Because we all go through these things. This is life. This is the life in the 3D, life in the cube, I call it. This is some people call it the matrix. We're just here to learn, to grow, and to love and help each other. That's it, pretty much. And then we go back to another dimension where we don't have sickness, we don't have all this. We might have other things. I don't know. I've never been there, or I don't remember being there. I'm sure I've been there. If it's true that there's parallel universes in the quantum field, which I think more than a theory, it's a reality. There's different dimensions and different stories going on at the same time and different lives. I'm sure I'm somebody else in another timeline or in another dimension. So anyway, okay, moving on. Going back to Relationship Coaching Live, Grace. This is not quantum field nerdy stuff. Okay. Anyway, but it all relates. You know what I'm saying? Like it all kind of relates. So practical tip for how to communicate in the middle of the storm. Create a communication cheat sheet together. Include safe words, calm phrases, go to conflict diffusers, and emergency cuddles. I love that. Yes, cuddles are valid and they work. Okay, again, this is all going to be in a free guide in about a half hour. You can download it for free at the State of Grace shop. And it's going to be on PDF, so you can download it and benefit from it, and it's free. We love free, don't we? I love free. Anyway, all right, let's go to my loves segment number 4. We have 5 segments. We're almost there. 5 segments. Woo! Okay. And more people are joining. Thank you so much on YouTube and on X and one on Twitch, which is fantastic. I appreciate you guys joining me live. It's way more fun when you're live and I know you're here. It's like having a conversation and having a little party. That's how I feel about it. All right. So segment 4, when to stay or when to walk away. Let's be real, okay? Not all chaos is cute. Not really. If you're constantly in survival mode, these are all red flags, okay? If you're constantly in survival mode, red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, if you've lost your sense of self. Ooh, with narcissistic abuse, eventually that's going to happen. Red flag number 3, if there's abuse, manipulation, or betrayal without accountability. Oh, well, if you're with narcissistic abuse, living with a narcissistic abuser, there's the accountability. It's going to be fake. It's going to last like a few minutes, and then they're going to go back to their old ways of projecting and accusing you. So when those 3 flags, okay, are there, so let's go over them. If you're constantly in survival mode, if you've lost your sense of self, and if there's abuse, manipulation, or betrayal without accountability, then it's time to ask, is this a relationship storm I'm meant to weather? Or is it sinking my ship? Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away, not because you don't love them, but because you've decided to love yourself more. We have a fan story. Janelle from Chicago wrote to me about how ending her 7-year toxic relationship felt like cutting off a limb, but it allowed her to grow wings. Ooh, I love that. She's now traveling, thriving, and dating herself first. Bravo, Janelle. I love it. Beautiful. And we should all put ourselves first. It's not selfish, because if you don't put yourself first, then you're going to fall into these relationships that are toxic. I know that I didn't love myself first when I fell for bad boys or narcissistic abusers or people that didn't really love me. And if I would have loved myself first, which I do now, I can tell if they really love me, if they see me, if they care for me, if they can take my light or not. You can tell. But you got to love yourself first, honey. And you got to know yourself. You got to know your value. Remember, and I keep saying this in all my lives, we are powerful and magical beings. We just don't remember it. And when you remember that, you can even heal yourself. You can. I've done it. Yep, you can do it. All right. So let's go to a practical tip. Make a 2-column list. What is this relationship giving me, or what is it costing me? Then ask yourself, am I gaining love or losing myself? If they bring nothing to the table in a spiritual or emotional, psychological way, even physical way, no. If they're not aligned with your vibe, if you're here and they're here, or vice versa, can't. You can't bring somebody in a low vibe up by yourself. You can bring them at moments, when they feel your energy, because we're electromagnetic beings, right? So when we're vibing high, this is experimental. This is not, I'm not making this up. Your electromagnetic field, which is like two circles that are doing like this, right? That's why your heart pumps, because you have that electric energy. Okay. So when your field is really big and expansive, it can affect other people. Some people enter a room and you're like, wow, like they have joy, or they have peace, or they enter the room and it's like, ooh, like the energy goes down, because their vibrational field will affect others. That's why we got to stay in love, peace, joy, enlightenment, and compassion, because when we do that, we can affect others. I'll tell you a story, and I'm sure I told it before, probably, but I haven't told it lately. But I once, after my cancer healing journey, I was a mess. I was bald. I was super tired all the time. I walked like literally like 20 feet, and then I sat on a bench at the beach, and I had so much peace, because the treatment was over. I went through a spiritual change, transformation, because I was by myself most of the time. I had somebody who helped me get to, she was my caregiver in a way, but I spent most of the time by myself, sick as a dog, and tired all the time. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. So I was sitting at the beach, and this woman was running, and she comes to me and says, I could feel your energy of peace from over there, when she was running. And she said, thank you. I was like, thank you for telling me that, because I'm not even aware that that's what I'm giving off. I had no idea. And that taught me, like, wow, my state of being at that moment affected her in a positive way. Maybe it made her day more peaceful. Maybe my energy. It was the energy. It wasn't, we have energy. We are energy, you guys. We're vibrational energy. This is not real solid. It's vibrating at a certain speed, and it makes it look solid, but it's not really solid. So I know. So it's a lot, but yeah, your energy can change people for sure. And I don't like to say positive or negative, because in the quantum field, there's no such thing as positive or negative. It just is. So I try to stay in the is of it, but I'm human. If I get mad, I'm like, they're so evil. But we're all human. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. That's all there is to it. All right, my loves, let's go to the last segment of today's Relationship Coaching Live. And again, thank you so much for joining the State of Grace in all these platforms. I really appreciate it, guys. I call the segment number 5, the last segment, Thriving Through It All, because there's always, a way to deal with all this and thrive through it. So, okay, so you made it through the chaos, or at least you're committed to doing the work, right? What now? Okay. Before we go into that, I want to show you a video of one of the books that I wrote. We were talking about healing yourself. I'm going to show you a video I made about healing myself. It's only a minute video, so I'm going to roll it. Are you ready to unlock your body's incredible power to heal itself? Discover the transformative journey in Healing from Within. In this powerful guide, I share my personal healing stories and the science behind the mind-body connection. With simple techniques like focusing on emotions, Healing from Within will guide you to tap into your own healing potential. This is your time to transform inside and out. Whether you're healing physically, emotionally, or mentally, Healing from Within will give you the tools you need to sustain a healing practice and embrace your journey. Healing from Within, available now at www.thestateofgraceshop.com. Visit www.thestateofgraceshop and start your healing journey today. All right. So let's go back to thriving through it all. Okay. So this is my advice. Okay. Build a toolkit. A, regular check ins. B, date nights. C, honest convos. D, therapy or coaching, relationship coaching right here. I can help you. And by the way, I offer 30 minutes free. If you're watching this today, you can DM me on Instagram and I will give you 30 minutes free. Just say, I watched Relationship Coaching Live. You got it. And laughter, lots of laughter. Yes, laughter is so healing. Again, this weekend, I am showing the healing power of laughter on a streamathon that I am doing of the best of Relationship Coaching Live with all the guests that were fantastic. And that's going to be a thing, the best of Relationship Coaching Live, because I don't know, I think we have like at least 50 or 60 episodes, I think. So yeah, so because we do it weekly, right? So the connection is a little it's fairly good. It says, you guys, can you see me okay? Or is it just unstable? Oh God. Okay. Let me see if it's okay. It seems okay there, but can you please let me know, Jesse, if the connection is okay? Because I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. It's just showing me like the Wi-Fi thing. It's like one little bar right now. It's not good. Oh my God. Okay. So, anyway, I'm going to continue. Okay, it's going up. It's going up. Okay, it's gone. Now, apparently, it's better. Okay, I might have frozen and maybe like, be a little choppy. I don't know, but I'll look at the video and judge for myself. All right. So remember, you guys, that growth isn't linear. You'll have relapses, bad days, and WTF moments. That's okay. You're human. Remember that. And thriving isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, patient, and playful. And let me tell you, if you can laugh through the chaos, you're already a winner. You are. Practical tip. All right, create a relationship first aid kit, a list of grounding tools, calming music, funny memes, reminders of love, and go to activities for when tension rises. Keep it digital or on paper. Either way, whatever works for you. I love my iPhone notes. That app is my life. I have so many notes, you guys. I love it. Okay. I don't know if Android has something similar. I'm sure it does. And just, yeah, definitely write it all down. Bonus tip. I always say this: celebrate small wins. You got through a conflict without yelling? Phew, high five, baby. Share the vulnerable truth? Dance party. Small victories build trust. Science backup. Couples who engage in shared laughter and rituals report higher relationship satisfaction, according to a study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships. Joy? Joy is bonding glue. Joy. Remember, joy, joy, joy. What is this channel called? The State of Grace, your ideal state of being. What's my banner say? Your journey to joyful living. Joy through everything. I even had joy through my cancer. I cried a lot, though. Let me tell you the truth. I cried a lot. But after I cried, I was like, let me flip it. Let me just change the emotion because I don't want to fall into a depression or cry all the time. I want to have fun. So I would create jokes. I wrote a whole comedy special. I would write my book, Get This Off My Chest, which I would love to show you a video because that book, if you can get it, that one's not free. It's $5.99. It's available at the stateofgraceshop.com. Okay. So it's right here, the banner. You can see the ticker. And so let me show you actually this Get This Off My Chest video. Life hit me with a storm I never saw coming. Stage 3 breast cancer. But let me tell you something. When the storm passes, something beautiful can emerge. I know because I lived it. Get This Off My Chest is my story of transformation. It's about finding peace, joy, and positivity in the middle of the hardest battle of my life. This book is for anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed by life's challenges, especially when it comes to your health. It's not just another cancer memoir, it's a guide to reclaiming your life, your joy, and your power. When I was going through cancer treatment, I made a choice to laugh through the chaos, to dating. All right, sorry, I messed up. Let me play it again. I apologize for that. I am engineering it all by myself, you guys. Okay. So let me play it again. Life hit me with a storm I never saw coming. Stage 3 breast cancer. But let me tell you something. When the storm passes, something beautiful can emerge. I know because I lived it. Get This Off My Chest is my story of transformation. It's about finding peace, joy, and positivity in the middle of the hardest battle of my life. This book is for anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed by life's challenges, especially when it comes to your health. It's not just another cancer memoir, it's a guide to reclaiming your life, your joy, and your power. When I was going through cancer treatment, I made a choice to laugh through the chaos, to surround myself with love, and to embrace every single day with gratitude. I want to share that with you. Get This Off My Chest is about shifting your mindset, flipping the script, and learning to find light in the darkest moments. Because I believe that transformation is beautiful, and every challenge, no matter how hard, is an opportunity to rediscover yourself. So whether you're fighting your own battle or supporting someone you love, this book is for you. It's for the warriors, the survivors, and anyone ready to live life with joy, strength, and a whole lot of humor. Get your copy of Get This Off My Chest. It's available on my online shop, www.thestateofgraceshop.com. Your journey to healing starts now. All right. Sorry about that little live glitch, but it happens when you're live, right? So let me know in the comments, what was the biggest challenge in your life? I want to know. And by the way, if you want to send me your stories, you can DM me on Instagram. Make sure you follow me first. I always follow back. And just tell me your story and I'll change the names. Or if you want to just tell me this is the name I want you to use. And you can help other people by sharing your story. Okay. So by the way, again, I offer 30 minutes of free relationship coaching on Zoom. Okay. If you just DM me on Instagram and say, hey, Grace, I saw your relationship coaching live. You said you offer 30 minutes free relationship coaching. I would love to take the opportunity to do that. Okay. So let me show you a quick video before we leave. And then we'll talk a little more before we leave. But this is what I can do for you as far as relationship coaching. Let me guess. You've been in a relationship that felt like a roller coaster, except you weren't strapped in and now you're dizzy as hell. Sound familiar? Yeah, I see you, honey. If you've ever been love bombed, gaslit, or stuck in a situationship that felt like an unpaid internship, you, my friend, deserve better. Let's break the cycle. I help you spot toxic patterns, heal from narcissistic abuse, and step into your power like the king or the queen that you are. No more chasing, no more fixing, no more, but maybe they'll change nonsense. Whether you're fresh out of a breakup, wondering if you're dating another red flag in disguise, or just ready to find love without the drama, I got you. Book a one-on-one session with me and let's create a love life that's actually fun instead of an episode of Survivor Toxic Island. Well, here is to healing, to healthy love, and to knowing your worth, baby. Cheers. All right. All right, you guys. Well, That is it for today's episode of Relationship Coaching Live. If you loved this chat, share it with your bestie or your boo. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave me some love in the reviews. Yeah. And don't forget about the pinned comment. In a half hour, I will put a free guide to everything we talked about today. And if you want personalized coaching to turn your relationship chaos into clarity, hit me up at Instagram, The State of Grace Fraga. That's my handle. Until next time, keep loving loud, living bold, and dancing through the chaos. I'm Grace Fraga, and baby, you got this. Dating is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is full of frogs and weird DMs. But who says you can't have fun while you're searching for that needle or prince? Say goodbye to dating disasters and hello to love that lights up your world. In Love, Laughter, and Lessons, a fun guide to dating, I spill all the secrets to navigating the dating scene with grace, humor, and just the right amount of sass. Whether you're swiping left or making eye contact across the room, I'll show you how to attract love like a magnet. It's time to stop waiting for love and start living it. Get your copy of Love, Laughter, and Lessons, a fun guide to dating today, and let the magic begin.